Welcome back and welcome to our weekly edition of All Things Women in Sports. We begin this week with tennis. One of the 4 major Grand Slams of the year, Roland Garros, or the French Open, is winding down. And as of a few hours ago, we have one half of our semifinal matchups now set. It'll be Russian teenage phenom Mira Andreeva versus Ukraine's Marta Kostyuk. This is actually a rematch of the Madrid final from exactly a month ago. In that one, Kostyuk won. In fact, she has won both of their head-to-head matchups. She's never even lost a set to Andreeva. But this will be Kostyuk's first slam semifinal and Andreeva's second. Now, we don't know the other semifinal matchup just yet because we still have 2 quarterfinal rounds to get to tomorrow. The first one is going to involve world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka on your screen right now versus Diana Schneider. Sabalenka is the highest seed left and the heavy favorite to win the whole tournament. She has not dropped a set yet here in the 2026 French Open. And the other quarterfinal showdown tomorrow will be between Anna Kalinskaya and tournament qualifier Maja Haflinska. She is on her Roland Garros main draw debut, and she's the first qualifier to reach the Roland Garros quarterfinals since 2020. Both of these players are trying to reach their very first Grand Slam semifinal. Of course, the other huge tennis news is coming from legend Serena Williams. She has officially accepted a wild card doubles entry to the HSBC Championships at Queen's Club. That tournament starts on Monday, with official draws dropping this Friday. The 44-year-old has not played professionally since the 2022 U.S. Open. She has won 23 career Grand Slams, which is a women's tennis record in the Open era, and 73 singles titles. She hasn't announced any plans beyond next week's tournament, but it is widely viewed as a warm-up to Wimbledon, which is Williams' best major tournament historically. All right, turning to the WNBA, Connecticut Sun star Brittany Griner made history this weekend. The veteran center scored her 6,000th career point, becoming just the 18th player in the league to reach this milestone. It was also her first game back in the lineup after a rib injury at the start of the season. But she's not the only one breaking records. Despite a tough couple recent games, Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark became the fastest player in league history to reach 500 assists and 1,000 points, doing it in just 59 games. So let's take a look at the standings in the W right now. The teams are beginning their race for the in-season tournament, the Commissioner's Cup, which we'll talk more about next Tuesday. But right now in the Eastern Conference, the Dream sit atop the standings with 5 wins and 2 losses. That is Angel Reese's team. And look at that brand new team, the Toronto Tempo, sitting in 2nd place in the East. Over in the West, it's the Minnesota Lynx on top, both in the West, but also just overall in the league with 7 wins and 2 losses. And they are closely trailed by the Dallas Wings with stars Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd. Your defending champions, the Las Vegas Aces, are sitting in 3rd in the West and 4th overall in the W. For now, though, we have some softball to talk about. The Women's College World Series is about to crown a new champion, and it's a rematch from last year's championship. The defending champs, the Texas Longhorns, are once again playing this team right here, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Game 1 is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time in Oklahoma. Game 2 will be played on Thursday, and Game 3, if needed, on Friday. But get this, it's the first title rematch since the World Series adopted the best-of-3 format in 2005. Texas Longhorns, now just the 2nd ever program behind Oklahoma to reach the World Series championship in 3 straight seasons. Last year, this same matchup went to 3 games and ended with Texas Longhorns claiming the school's first national title. But after Nebraska was eliminated on Sunday, this person right here, superstar pitcher Jordy Ball Frame, made a surprise pregnancy announcement on Instagram. Check this out. She and her husband are expecting their first child this December, and it all comes after she finished a very decorated college career where she won 2 World Series championships with Oklahoma. And this year she took home the Softball Collegiate Player of the Year and NFCA Player of the Year awards, making her the first back-to-back winner since 2016. In soccer, the NWSL is now on a month-long break as the Men's World Cup gets ready to take over the U.S. So let's check in on the standings as the teams get some time off. It's the San Diego Wave who are on top after defeating Chicago this weekend. And numbers 2 and 3, Utah and Portland, ended their weekend clash in a 2-2 stalemate, which allowed San Diego to jump up to number 1. Get this, just 8 points separate the top 8 clubs, which are currently in playoff contention. And there are just 2 points between the final postseason ticket, slot number 8, and the first elimination slot, number 9. Finally tonight, though, and closer to home, we have one local lady nominated for this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout. It is Stella Smith from Geneseo. She had a hat trick in the Maple Leafs sectional semifinal win. So pull out your phones. You can scan this QR code and it'll take you directly to the page where you can vote for any of this week's nominees. You can also always find this on our website, WQAD.com. You have until tomorrow at noon to cast your vote, and each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.